Hello, everyone. Welcome to a live stream. Yes, you haven't heard from me in months, and then I come along with two live streams and a video all in one week. Yeah, thought I'd treat you all. So, welcome to the channel. If you don't know me, my name's Lee Everett. I've been an estate agent for well over 20 years now, selling properties in North Essex. And on this channel, we like to go over the property market, answer any questions that you guys have about buying or selling a house, and general just some good advice and stories to share with everybody who chooses to tune in. And this week, we're going to be talking about Rightmove's latest house price indices. I used to do these every month for probably a year, but I had a bit of burnout, I think, from doing too many live streams and whatnot. So here we are. We're going to go over it. If you are here watching the stream, please feel free to say hello. Planet Pokewood, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. So thanks for joining us. Really happy to have you. So yeah, today we're going to go over the Rightmove house price indices, and what I like to do is just we read through it, we discuss it, I'll give you my thoughts on it, and then we just see where the live stream takes us. So shall we get into it? Let's do it. So I've got this set up right. So you should be able to see my screen now. So if you can't see it, let me know, and I'll try and remember to do something about it. So it was released this morning, 20th of May. The key headlines, as you could probably tell from the thumbnail, was there was a 0.8% monthly price rise in May. Now, this is a normal thing during spring. Generally, asking prices generally do go up in May, April, May, that sort of time, as a lot more properties come to market. And what we're experiencing is, well, I think what Rightmove's experiencing is a lot more higher end value properties are coming to the market. So that puts them at 0.6% higher than what they were this time last year. And the main thing, which I think as an estate agent and as a house seller, that you should be quite excited about, is the actual increase in sales being agreed. Now, these aren't completed sales, so some of those will go wrong. 1 in 4 will probably go wrong, but that's just what happens in the property market. It's a great indication that more houses are being sold in the first 4 months of this year as to last year. And I think if you watched the live stream a few days ago, I said exactly the same thing. We've had more sales this year to date than we did in 2023, which was always good. As an agent, as a seller, is a great thing. Hello, Alex. I hope I gave you enough notice this time for this live stream. I did do it about 7:30, I think it was. So you should have had enough chance to join us. So thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate it. So thank you. So let's dive a little bit deeper into what Rightmove are saying. Record asking prices driven by pent-up demand. The average price for a property coming to the market for sales reached a new record of £375,171, rising to just under £3,000. As the momentum of spring selling season exerts some modest upward price pressure. The market remains price sensitive, with average asking prices just 0.6% higher than a year ago. And as Moving Home with Charlie and everyone else says, these are newly listed properties, not reductions or anything like that, or sales falling through. These are just new properties coming onto the market. So these are going to be the fresh. Not all of them will be brand new, actually. Some would have changed estate agents and whatnot. But these will be fresh sellers looking to come to the market, full of excitement and anticipation of selling their house in a relatively quick amount of time, which, as we discussed the last live stream and my last video, isn't always the case if you're going on for too much money. The top of the ladder sector is still leading price growth, with average prices up 1.3% compared with last year. I don't know how, when borrowing money is so bloody expensive, how the higher value houses think their house price has gone up. Doesn't compute with me. Pent-up demand from the would-be buyers who paused their plans last year is a key driver behind increased home move activity, despite mortgage rates remaining elevated for longer than anticipated. Again, I don't know many people who are on my mailing list who put off last year who are now looking this year. It just seems to be people that have just started looking, not have delayed for a year or anything like that. Just seems to be new inquiries coming. Not sure why. Not sure why. The number of sales being agreed during the first 4 months of the year is 17% higher than last year, outstripping the 12% increase in the number of new sellers coming to market, which for months and months and months and months and months, there's been way more properties coming to the market than we can keep up with in terms of selling. Our register has grown and grown and grown since probably summer 2022. Yeah, a hell of a lot of new properties coming to the market, and not always having the amount of demand that we had during the COVID sort of time. So quite interesting. Sorry, Planet. Let's have a look here. From an investment point of view, do you think it's wise to avoid new builds? 100%. 100%. I would not look to buy a new build for investment unless it is well below market value. If you needed to sell that property in 2 to 5 years, you probably won't get your money back. Not in all cases, but when you're buying a new build property, you will pay a premium just like a car. And as soon as you buy it, the value would have dropped. So if you would need to sell unexpectedly, there is a risk that you wouldn't be looking to get the money that you paid for it originally. I can see the attraction of going for a new build if you're looking to rent it out, because it's ready to rock and roll straight away. No maintenance issues. There should be no maintenance issues. You have your NHBC building certificate insurance as well. But yeah, personally, when you're doing an investment, I think you've always got to have a, what if it goes wrong? What's my exit strategy if things were to go wrong? Can I pull my money back and and do what I need to do? So generally, I personally would stay away from a new build unless it's a really, really good deal, and I don't think there's many of those about at the moment. I don't think. I could be wrong. Where did we get to? Despite these positive lead indicators for higher transaction levels this year, the painful average 154 days between agreeing a sale and legal completion remains a challenge for both agents and movers. Yeah, so 4.5 months we're experiencing is the average at the moment in our office, which, again, if you're thinking of putting your house on the market now, you are looking towards, don't want to say it in May, but the Christmas period, that lead up to Christmas, is potentially when you could be moving. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? It sounds crazy, but it depends on how long you take to sell. If you sell relatively quickly, then you'll be in well before. With 62 days on average needed to find a buyer before the legal process even begins, would-be sellers hoping to find a new home for Christmas need to be taking action now. Yeah, exactly that. So that's the average of 62 days. If you're an overpriced property, how long it takes to sell is going to be a hell of a lot longer, maybe double, if at all, if you do decide to sell, and you'd probably have to reduce over those that time period as well, which is not a good look. Rightmove's analysis show that properties that need an asking price reduction take more than 3 times longer to find a buyer as those that do not, giving sellers who price right from the outset the edge to sell more quickly. So 3 times longer to sell, and probably less money than what you would have got if you would have listed the property at the right price to begin with. And this is a lot of conversations that I'm having. A lot of conversation I'm having with owners is pricing properly now should mean you actually get more money. So when you're going in with a lower valuation with these sellers, and they're not happy with your price, they put it on the market for, I don't know, 10% more than what you've said with another agent, and they sit on the market for 3 months, then they reduce, and they end up actually reducing to maybe even below what we've said, but also being months and months further down the line, costing them potential mortgage payments and all sorts. There's a lot of things people or sellers don't think about. And you guys, buyers who are watching, you're not stupid. You can sniff an overpriced property a mile off. Anything that's been on the market for more than 4 or 5 weeks, key indicator that it's just way too much money. Can you see my screen right now? Is my stream broke? Oh dear, what have I done? What have I done? My screen is saying a bloody countdown clock. Oh no, here we go. That looks like it's working. All good. Yeah. Cheers, Alex. Cheers. Sorry, for some reason I just had that countdown clock come in. I panicked. Don't know what I've done wrong. Cheers. Can see your screen now. Nice one. Nice one. Cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So 3 times longer to sell if you're overpriced. 3 times longer. That is absolutely crazy, but so true. So true. National average asking prices. So last month, £372,324. In May, 375,131. Wow. This is what I always find interesting with this particular indice or index is I like what they presume sort of the first time buyer price bracket is, second time buyers, and the top of the ladder. And I think I remember when we was doing these live streams a year or maybe 18 months ago, the first time buyer part or the asking price for the first time buyer part was generally the increase always more than the second steppers and the top of the ladder. I could be remembering that wrong, but certainly at least 2 or 3 times we looked at that. First time buyers were paying the price for those low interest rates and high prices we experienced during COVID. A little bit more, less this time round, or less this year. First time buyer average asking price for a first time buyer home up just under 0.5% to 0.4%, which we have noticed that the lower end of the lower end, so like your 2-bedroom houses, 1-bedroom minuets houses, something like that, the freehold smaller stuff hasn't gone down as much as we thought, because those buyers who would have 2 years ago been able to afford a 3-bedroom semi have now had to sort of readjust their requirements and what they need rather than what they want, and actually buy something a little bit more within their grasp. So those first time buyers, rather than buying the family houses, which I was fortunate enough to be able to do, my first house wasn't a flat. I worked my way up. I was able to buy a 3-bedroom house straight away, whereas people now are having to go maybe flat or small house and then work their way up the ladder, just like our parents and grandparents would have done many, many years ago. Second steppers, so these are people that are looking to buy something bigger, which doesn't surprise me. The average asking price increase is only up 0.2%. And this is where we find the market tends to stall. We've got a lot of the people wanting to buy their second home but aren't able to because they haven't sold. And if you're not sold, you're not going to be able to buy that second home, and you're just going to sit on the market. So that's where we're seeing sort of that more leveling off in prices, but still £343,000 for your second home. I mean, that's out of reach for a hell of a lot of people. Hell of a lot of people. What else we got here? Overview. The average price of property coming to the market rises by 0.8% to a new record of 375, as the momentum of the spring selling season exerts some modest upward pressure. May is typically a strong month for price growth, as we said earlier, with new price records having been set in May in 12 of the previous 22 years. Price growth is still led by the largest homes, top of the ladder sector, with prices in this sector up by an average of 1.3% compared with last year. However, since the last price record set a year ago in May 23, average prices are only 0.6% higher overall, a reminder that the market remains very price sensitive. And it is price sensitive. It's the most price sensitive I have experienced in a very, very long time. A very, very long time. And it's just so key. You just want to shake so many sellers and say, what are you doing? And some agents, what are you doing? It's just absolute bonkers. Absolute bonkers. That's all I really planned for, guys. I mean, I could sit here and read through a Rightmove price index, which I used to do quite a lot, actually. I used to read quite a lot, but we had a few more people in the stream asking questions and whatnot. So if you do have any questions and you are watching, please let me know now, because we're going to start to wrap this up in the next few minutes. I know it's only been 15 minutes, but yeah, I don't get a chance to plan these as much as I used to. I've got less time on my hands, and it's later as well, so I don't want to go on for too long. If you haven't checked out the video I done yesterday. Took me ages to film because I've not filmed a video for ages. Please check it out on the channel. It's about pretty much overvaluing and why it stalls the market, and what you can do as a seller and a buyer. Yeah, Alex, mine's at work as well, mate. Mine's at work as well. Well, she doesn't start well. She starts work about 8:45, so I have to wait for her to go, then set up all the stuff, which takes about 20 minutes, half hour, and then then I haven't had a chance to sort of get dressed or smarten up for you guys. I haven't done my hair today. I was off work, by the way. I was off work. Done some gardening, bit of a tan, maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Read that wrong, didn't I? Oh, there we go. I should have got a beer in. Should have got a beer, but I forgot. Anything you want to talk about, Alex? Go on. Any questions? Pokewood, what made you go for a new build? Or maybe go for a new build? What was the attraction? Incentives? Location? Price? Anything like that? That's fine. I'll probably look to wrap it up then if we don't get a bit more, a few more people chatting and whatnot. If you are watching and you don't want to chat, then just like the stream. That really helps. It really helps. So if you're logged in and chatting, then please like. We've done the poll as well, didn't we? Has constantly seeing overpriced properties put you off buying? Out of the 7 votes, so thank you very much if you did participate in voting. 57% of you said no, 14% said no, and 29% just wanted to mess up the poll. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for just looking to mess up the poll. Appreciate it. I presumed you hadn't bought just yet. You was asking whether to buy a new build as an investment property. Just wanted to know what sort of drew you to it, Planet Pokewood. Nicholas, welcome to the stream. I've got a 2-bed coach house I bought 1.5 years ago for 297 in DA8. Seems that currently went down in value by around 10k. Do you think it's going to change in the next couple of years? I mean, it could come down further, Nicholas, and it could go up and it could stay the same. All depends what happens with interest rates, world events, and what's going on locally in your market as well. So generally over the long term, if you bought 1.5 years ago, so over 3.5 years in a normal market with normal interest rates, which I'd imagine would be between 3 and 4%, then we could be looking at some steady growth in the years to come. It's not going to be that rocket ship growth we had during COVID of 20%, 25%, depending where you were. But generally, there will be incremental price increases in a normal market, in the property market, unless, I say, a black swan event, COVID, another war, financial crisis, which some say we're in now, but hasn't materialized to me yet. But I hope that helps, Nicholas. So did you have it valued because you're thinking of moving, or just curious, or is your fixed rate coming up to an end and want to know what you can remortgage for? But £10,000 and buying nearly the peak ago at that sort of level doesn't sound too bad to me. So a lot of people may have lost 30 to £45,000. So to only go down 10 grand, you've obviously improved the property of some way, or in an area which hasn't experienced the large downturn that a lot of other people have as well. But thanks for the question. Really appreciate it. So Alex looking for, okay. So you're looking for what? Do ups or buy to let, guys? Do ups or buy to let? I mean, because I flips, renovations, I think it's very difficult to plan a renovation right now, especially as we're not quite sure how the market's going to go and the costing of how much things are setting people back to refurbish a place. I mean, I had one investor in who literally say he wants to do kitchen, bathroom, heating, windows, 50 grand, like a basic refurb, £50,000. If there's not more than, say, £70,000 below the asking price and what they can potentially sell it for, then it's not worth it. And you think, if a house is going to take 4.5 months to go through, if you're buying with a mortgage, that's 4.5 months of mortgage payments eating into your profit, council tax, insurance, all that sort of stuff. And if you don't sell straight away, so you do the average, which is what, 64 days, that's 2 months, you're looking 6 months or 6.5 months of an empty property before you actually get your money back, plus your refurbish costs. And you not know what's going to happen with the prices. That'd be a worry for me. At least with buy to let, you've got that certainty of, you've got that rent coming in, touch wood, every month, no matter what. If you get sort of your rent and legal protection as well, then you're covered on that front. But yeah, I think buying to sort of sell on, I'd a bit wary unless you can buy an absolute bargain. And they are out there. We've sold a few where sellers have been really, really keen to sell. Realistic sellers who need to sell, putting on the market for the right price and selling like that. They're able to move on. Somebody else is able to move in or take advantage of their situation and improve the property or rent it out. But there's still a lot of buy to let investors out looking. A lot, which is good. Nicholas, I want to sell in the next 3 years. Once 5-year mortgage goes off, want to get back at least what I pay. I would imagine. Get the focus in. That's a bit fuzzy. I'd imagine after 5 years, you should get hopefully your money back, especially if you've improved it as well over that sort of time frame as well. But it will be a slow increase if things start to sort themselves out. But the world, or our country's got to get used to interest rates at 3 or 4% for most buyers, rather than sort of the 2% and below, which my generation have been used to for the last 20 odd years. Alex going for a buy to let, yeah. Buy to lets. I mean, the good thing about a buy to let now, when interest rates are high, if it's going to make your money now, by the end of your 2-year fixed or 5-year fixed, rates should have come down and your interest payment's going to drop. And then you'll be taking in more money each month as well. So if you can get through these tough times, same with if you own a property, if you're buying a house now, you can afford the mortgage now. When your fixed rate comes up to 5, however many years you've gone, your mortgage payment should come down to a better level, meaning you're going to be better off financially, as well as having the security of owning your own home, mortgaging your own home. Difficult times for buying and flipping, I would say. But again, it depends where you're buying. Nicholas, I worry that a coach house could be less favourable for people to buy as a 995-year leasehold. You couldn't really ask for a better lease length. The key thing for yours, Nicholas, will be what your ground rent is and what your service charges are. So, was you a new build? Is that a new lease or is that a new build property you've bought, Nicholas? That'd be good to know. I get my house average valuation every 3 months done by my bank, Santander. The bike was much lower 6 months ago. It rise up since. Okay, how do they do that? Do you pay for that, Nicholas? Because I can ask NatWest to instruct, if I don't agree, if I want to remortgage now at the price that their HPI thing says, if I wanted to get a second opinion, I'd have to pay for a surveyor to come and do it. And then I'll have to go whether it says more or less than the HPI val. But yeah, how do they do the valuation? Is it automated? Yeah, new build. Right, okay, so the good thing about the 2019 is you would have had your dip of when that was a new build after buying it straight away, or when it was built straight away. You would have picked it up at second-hand property value pricing, which is good. You'd have had the benefit of the house price increases in 2020, 2021, and summer 2022, and then we've had less of a dip. How can I word this? So you've benefited more from the price increase than you have of the price decrease. There was a longer period of time where prices were going up than going down, in my area anyway, because we seem to have hit, in our area, North Essex, a sort of plateau or bottoming out. I think we've hit the bottom of house prices going down where I am at the moment, but that could change. Free service, that's good. I might have to log in to my banking app and see if they do that on my one. That'd be good to know. I'd like to know how how much the bank thinks my my house is worth, because I think I know, but it's not me lending me money, is it? It's a bank, so they might be a little bit more conservative. But I like to think I'm realistic. I'd like to think that all you guys here on the stream are realistic with your houses, prices anyway. But I bought it from someone. Oh, you bought in 2022, right? Okay, so you might have bought in the peak then. Oh, you did say you've been there a year and a half. Yeah, beg your pardon. Yeah, so I mean, to only have lost 10 grand in that year and a half, when prices have been coming down again in my area quite heavily, I think you've done all right. I think I've done you right. I used to check the value on the online account. Santander does update every couple of weeks. Well, I've got NatWest. I swear it's once a year. Is that on the banking app on your mobile? Has that changed? Is that a new thing? That's the first thing. Once I've tied all this crap up, after I say goodnight to you guys, I'm going to be I'm going to be checking the NatWest banking app, because mine doesn't. Ooh, this camera's crap, isn't it? Keeps losing focus. Maybe that's best because I'm a bit tired. Yeah, hopefully, Nicholas, that by the time you look to sell, you should be all right. You should be all right. Hopefully. Oh, you switched from NatWest. Used to be on there. Oh, wrong one. Yeah. I say, well, my mortgage is on my banking app because I've got a bank account with them. I go into it, and then when you go into the mortgage overview, it says how much you've got left, the price, and the EPC rating. I've had this mortgage for, God, probably 4 years with NatWest, 2.5. Yeah, maybe 4.5 years, and I've not seen it unless it's a different part. Nicholas, well, I hope you you stick around and you keep watching the stream, because keeping an eye on what's going on in prices is what I'm going to try and do a bit more often when the wife's at work. So I won't be doing anything for the next 4 or 5 nights because she's not at work for the next 4 or 5 nights. So I won't be doing anything like this anyway. So next week there'll probably be another house price index out which we can pick apart and have a look at, any major news which comes across my desk or anything I'm experiencing, which I think you guys should know about. I'll certainly be letting you know. But again, if you haven't liked the stream, please give it a thumbs up. It really, really, really does help the channel. And the more likes and comments and whatever we get, really sort of pushes me to do more of these as well. Because at one point I had like 150 people watching, and then I've dropped the ball a little bit. Stopped doing as many, and then yeah. There's a lesson for you, Lee. There's a lesson. Been a silent watcher since 20. Oh, blimey. You're one of the old school ones, Nicholas. Old school. Alex has been around for a long time. So is Planet Pokerwood. So, hello, Leo. How are you? Another long time one. Another long time. This is really good. Really good. I did wonder that because it's been so long since I've done that live stream, a lot of the people would have maybe bought or just decided not to look for a long time. So it's great. It's great to see. Great to see a lot of the old faces. And by old, I don't mean that you are old. That you're just some of the originals. When I first started this channel during COVID, or just before COVID, blimey, it's a long time ago, wasn't it? A long time ago. So it's really great to see you guys. Really great. Can't always get on live views. You just watch the recording. I'm pleased you do. Like, watching live is great and having the interaction, but obviously having people watch the recording is always really good as well, because it helps sort of the views and the likes and whatnot. And I am back. That's very kind of you to say. Very kind of. In fact, we touched in one of Moving Home with Charlie's live streams. I think we said hello, didn't we? a few days ago. Yeah, it was you. It was. I'm sure it was you. Yeah. Promo. Ah, what have I done there? How did that work? Ah, nice to see you again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's oh mate, I'm going. I've gone all fuzzy inside, and yeah, you're a subscriber. I know. I really, really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Like catching up with you guys is great. So let me know what you've been up to. So Leo, have you bought yet? Are you still looking? Promote? What's going on? Let's catch up. Alex and Pokey were looking for buy investments, and even though I'm not an investment channel, it was nice to yeah, nice to catch up in it. You stick around, didn't you? You stick around. Don't know why. Yeah, well, yeah. I thought it was. I thought it was. Yeah, it's yeah, really, really good to bump into you. Really good to bump into you. Right. This has gone on longer than what I thought it would, to be honest with you. I'm actually really, really chuffed. Really, really chuffed. So, yeah. What have I done there? Oh, was it a secret? You don't want people to know you're a buy-to-let investor. Offer's been accepted now. It's server time. And biting my nails. Cracks found in property. Okay. Cracks aren't always necessarily something to dread. Obviously, they're not great to look at. I've got cracks in this wall here and in the ceiling because we replastered. This wall here was completely open going into our dining room, and that's a partition wall. So we've got some hairline cracks where the original wall meets the new plaster. And well, the whole place has been replastered actually. So yeah, I wouldn't be overly concerned with cracks. Ones which are maybe that thick. So if you could probably fit a pound coin sideways, or the thinnest part of a pound coin in, then I would probably worry. And if those cracks start at the bottom and then work their way up, or start at the top and work their way down, that's generally a worry. And if the pointing out the front, the brickwork out the front looks okay, it shouldn't be anything too major yet. But yeah, cracks are, it's what we look for, isn't it? It's such a visual thing to look for when you're looking at a house. Cracks and damp. When a lot of damp is condensation, which is just poor ventilation and how people live. And some cracks are caused by condensation. The amount of moisture in the air then dries out. Like these cracks in here, can't remember which way it is. During the summer, they get bigger. And in the winter, when I don't know why, when the heating's on, maybe, I don't know, they sort of expand and then close themselves up. So yeah, I wouldn't be too overly worried. If you've got any pictures of them, you can ping me an email, lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk, and I can have a look at them. But the surveyor, if it is it just the bank survey, or have you got a home buyer survey going around? Because obviously two different things. Where are we? It's an older property, so not surprised, but a little stressed. Pray for me. Oh, everything crossed for you. Everything crossed. But I'd say the vast majority of times, cracks aren't nothing serious. If it's an older style property, it's been there a long time. If it's been looked after as well, then you should be fine. But don't worry too much. But if you get your mortgage valuation come back and they want a report done to look at the cracks, you'll then need to get a structural engineer around to provide that report for the lender, or they'll may withhold back money or just say no to the mortgage. But that happens. Say no to the mortgage, holding 100% retention of the mortgage funds until things are fixed, is quite rare. It needs to be quite bad normally to have that. I had one last week, one which had, well, we knew it had damp. We advised the seller to get a quote for how much the damp was going to cost to do. And then we advised him to reduce his house or put his house on the market for £10,000 less than what it would be worth with all the damp done. So we've done that, and the mortgage surveyor still valued it at zero because of all the damp. You try. Didn't even value it at like 20, 30 grand less. They actually valued it at zero because they wanted to hold back all the money until the damp work was done, which, yeah, we showed them the damp report. Maybe we shouldn't have. So you'd be open and honest, and it ends up just kicking you in the teeth. But I knew about it as well. But yeah, look, I hope that goes well for you. When's the survey happening? Is it mortgage survey, which is just a valuation by all means, or is it a home buyer survey you're going for? If it's an older style house, I would advise getting at least a level 2 survey on that, Leo. So yeah, come back next week. Hopefully you've had some good news. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Or just quickly look at the poll. 11 votes. Has constantly seeing overpriced properties put you off looking? 64% of you yes. More of you just want to mess up the poll than no, which is that's just you lot, isn't it? That's just you lot. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you at some point next week when hopefully we have something good to chat about for Leo. Some good news. Yeah, have a great evening. I'm going to have a beer.